a ladies' night sort of. But gentlemen, make no mistakes because it will also be very beneficial to you as well. I strongly believe that there's always something to learn from every topic, no matter how irrelevant it may seem to you or it doesn't apply to you. So this is going to be important. As your moderator for this evening, aka Virtual Compass, it is an absolute honor to lead this discussion. It is almost International Women's Day, which holds every year on the 8th of March. And it is just fitting for us to spotlight the incredible and fantastic women that makes up our community. Now, tonight, this will be done by a panel discussion like Toastmaster Ajwa already mentioned, and we are honored to have 4 seasoned leaders and speakers on our panel list today. They would go into their unique ideas, their personal stories. This is just really to highlight the importance of women, the challenges, their growth, and inspire everyone generally in our Toastmasters community. So without further ado, it's time to welcome our panelists. But I wouldn't do that if I don't think you are interested in meeting them. So if you're ready, please type women in the chat box. I'll be looking out for it. If I don't see like how many of us, 20, I am not moving on. Type women in the chat box. I'm waiting. I'm very patient when it comes to things like this. Thank you, TM Joyce. Okay. All right, Dr. Loretta, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm waiting for more. Women, women, women. Okay, yeah. Good. Since we're excited. Cool, because I cannot wait for you to meet. Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. Without further ado, let us meet our panelists. In no particular order, I'd like to introduce one of our panelists. She is a strategically minded financial professional with over a decade experience with proven expertise in performance and people management. She is a chartered banker and professional scrum master. She's a wife to 1 man, mother to 2 awesome boys, sister and friend to many. She joined Toastmasters in 2016, sorry. I'm ahead of myself there. As a charter member of the AWN Toastmasters Club, she is also a member of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club. She owns her leadership skills by serving at club area, division, and district levels. She's a 2-time past president of AWN Toastmasters, a past area director, past Division F director, and immediate past club extension committee chair. She's a club coach, sponsor, mentor. She currently serves as the District 94 Education and Training Committee Chair. She has achieved a double Distinguished Toastmaster Award in the traditional path and pathways, and she has proficiency in 6 pathways: innovation planning, effective coaching, team collaboration, dynamic leadership development, and persuasive influence. She is a multiple Triple Crown Award recipient. She also received the 2021 District 94 Silver Crown Award for completing the most paths across the district. She enjoys reading, volunteering, and dancing. She loves movies and explores combat sports at her leisure. Okay, remind me not to get in battle with you. She lives by the mantra Kaizen, continuous improvement. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Chidi Chukudi Madu with all the beautiful emojis you can find. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Yatala. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. All right, so I'll also welcome our next panelist. Our next panelist is a young, at least she describes herself as a young lady with high aspirations and ambitions of making a difference in the world. She is an experienced revenue management officer with a demonstrated history of working in the airlines aviation industry, skilled in crisis communications, event management, editing, journalism, training, and media relations. She is a strong operations professional with a Master's of Arts in Communications from University of Ghana, Legon. She's a serial entrepreneur who indulges in several businesses across board. She is the CEO of Aviation Aerospace International Limited, GH Aviation, and Tiger Base. She is the founder of EFA Modern Montessori School, co-founder of Aviation College and Professional Studies, the vice president of Ghana Association of Aviation Training Organization, the host of On the Spot of the Aviation Canteen Show. Permit me to skip a few lines to say she likes to help aspiring aviators understand the industry and decide on the right fields in the industry they want to pursue. She's currently championing the agenda hashtag Bring Back Our Airlines, which seeks to make our airlines work well and hold accountable for the well-being of staff, even if it goes defunct. She loves aviation and tourism with a passion and hopes to be instrumental in making Ghana an aviation hub in West Africa better. With this in mind, she joined Toastmasters to build on her public speaking skills as well as become an efficient leader. In her 6 years journey, she has served in many leadership positions, including president, vice president, education, vice president, public relations, etc. She is now the immediate past division M director, as well as the youngest distinguished Toastmaster in Ghana. Our mantra is limits are made to be broken. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Elizabeth Sassu. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. All right, so I'll move on to our third panelist. Our third panelist is a certified Agile project manager, a John Maxwell certified leadership and team development strategist, trainer, speaker, and coach. She's a goal success life coach, a cognitive behavioral coach, and a TEDx speaker. She has served as the Vice President of Education and President of Jabi Lakeside Toastmasters Club, Area Director for Area 15, Area Division E Welfare Chair, and Program Quality Director for Division E. Currently, she serves as Division Director for Division E. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Faith Iyahe. Toastmaster Faith?
Yeah, good evening, Toastmasters. It's nice to
Good
be
evening.
here.
Thank you. And last but definitely not the least, I'll just say our fourth panelist for tonight is a pioneer Toastmaster in Nigeria. She's a past president of Merit Toastmasters Club and Tutors and Trainers Toastmasters Club. She has served Toastmasters International in various capacities, including at district level, which she has been two-time financial manager and chaired several committees, including credentials, audits, and leadership committee. She's also into the business of medical devices. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Rasheedat Saliu Bello.
Hello. Good evening, Toastmasters and friends. Glad to be here.
Good evening. Welcome. Zoom Master, could you please spotlight all of our panelists? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell that we have giants of women in the room, so there will be knowledge jumping here and there for you to catch. So let me remind you to jot, you know how they say, jot some things down. So do that and be ready if you have questions or thoughts at the end of this. Without further ado, let us jump into it. Okay, I don't see DTM Chidi and DTM Elizabeth on my screen. Have they been pinned or spotlighted? Zoom master, please.
Can they turn on their videos so that I can spotlight them?
All right. Okay. So DTM Chidi and DTM Elizabeth. Awesome. It's good to see your beautiful faces. Okay. Okay, so we're just waiting on DTM Chidi now. DTM Chidi. All right. You know, I wanted to say with all the quietness and gentleness so that you don't bring out that combative mode. Welcome again to this panel session. Thank you for making out time to do this. And we are going to kick off this conversation by asking everyone. So this is a question that everyone would get to answer. And it is, can you tell us why you joined Toastmasters, why you decided to stay, and what your experience has been so far? So everyone gets like 2 minutes. Timer, please take note. You know that Toastmasters, we tend to talk a lot. So 2 minutes, tell us why you joined, why you have stayed, right? And your experience so far. We'll start with DTMRSB.
Okay. Thank you so much, sweet lady.
Thank you.
Ayatola Alariwaju. Joining Toastmasters for me, I would say, was like an accident. My friend with whom, we were in the banking industry together and we've been there for ages, decades, I should say. And I had just retired. And he told me I was in the business of training and management consulting. And well, at the risk of sounding a little bit maybe on the very pompous side, I'll say I had things going well for me. And I knew my onions. That's the truth. I could feel very comfortable when it came to training because I really knew what I was talking about. As a professional, not just a worker, as a professional, I knew everything I needed to talk about, and I'd always done this. So when she told me, well, there's this club trying to spring up in Nigeria, and then I asked her, what is it all about? She said, well, they talk and they speak and they communicate. Why are you going to do? It was funny to me. What do you want to tell a trainer? We do go on our training escapades. I call it escapades because we worked so much like a team together. Anywhere we went to, she could pick up a sentence and I'll finish it and all of that. You know how this kind of synergy. So what are you going to be talking about? Okay, so let me get to this meeting and let's see what is going to be happening there. Lo and behold, it was time for table topics. And of course, as at that time, even the club was trying to find its feet. People didn't know what Toastmasters was all about. So pioneers trying to understand what we are supposed to be doing and what we're not supposed to be doing right. I discovered that I was tongue-tied. Honestly, Toastmaster Ayatola, I was asked a very simple question. And I had this candy in my mouth and I was licking so hard on it. And I was wondering, because they asked me a question that I was not familiar with. I was operating in a familiar terrain. I was on a terrain. So I now knew the difference that when I thought I was the champion, it was because I was operating in a familiar terrain. I could talk and, you could wake me up at any time and then I could go on and on and on and on and on. But if you asked me something that I was not familiar with, then it became a problem. That was the first realization. With that, I knew, yes, I had to be a member of this club. right there and then. I joined even before the person that introduced me to the meeting. So that was great. And people keep asking me that same question. It doesn't mean you haven't heard enough. I've been a Toastmaster since 2007, and this is 2024. So it makes it, I'm on my 17th year, isn't it? And people start wondering, is it like you haven't really got the training that you need, or you think you're not good? No, for me, training is lifelong. For me, I believe that learning is lifelong. For me, I know that I can never be the best. I need to, even if I think I'm good, I have to keep outsmarting myself. And that is why I don't see a scenario where I won't be a Toastmaster. In any case, I know that by the time I retire, I want to retire into, I'd always had the impression that I'll retire into teaching. I tried trying to lecture in a university, it just didn't work out. So, well, if Toastmasters will give me the opportunity, when I retire, okay, that will be my second retirement. Remember, I'd retired 2004. So if I retire again, when I don't know when, I'd like to retire into Toastmasters. So I have to keep being there to understand how things are moving on, because I know that I enjoy, and there's no single meeting I go to that I don't learn something new. I'm here now, I know I'm going to go home with something new. So I can't stop being a Toastmaster. And it has helped me in every way. I moved from a very unfamiliar terrain to an unfamiliar terrain. As a banker, as a trainer, as an administrator, I moved to medical devices. And you're asking me how I am able to do that? It's Toastmasters. We'll get to that, but it's Toastmasters. So I convince professors in the medical field, and all of that I'm able to do because of all the skills I acquired as a Toastmaster. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I think the one thing I pick from that is that Toastmaster is addictive, because you're so committed, yet you are still saying you want to retire into it. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on to DTM Elizabeth. Please share your journey with us.
Thank you very much, our moderator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests on the call. My journey in Toastmasters has been awesome from day one. Why did I join Toastmasters? I was at a low point in my life when a client of mine, DTM Patricia, introduced me to Toastmasters. I was about developing postnatal depression. I was overwhelmed with so many things, and I needed an outlet. When I was introduced to Toastmasters, I realized that that was the avenue to release whatever was pent up in me. I loved the ambience. I loved the Toastmasters family that I met. And this is the reason why I stayed. Why am I still a Toastmaster? I've learned so many things in my 6-year journey as a Toastmaster. I've played so many leadership roles. I have made friends. And I believe that some may just see the Toastmasters educational curriculum as something that you go through your project, you come to meetings, you deliver your projects, and then that is it. But that is not so for me. I try as much as possible to inculcate whatever project that I deliver or I do at a meeting in my personal space, especially with regard to my professional life. And that has helped me, that has built me up to who I am today. So Toastmasters is a good platform for all of us. And I know that if we go beyond delivering projects in our meetings, at our meetings, we would find value in why we are still Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Elizabeth. It's awesome I would think that everybody would have the same starting point for Toastmasters, but hearing from you and RSV now, I see the difference, and yeah, it just shows that everyone comes from different points. Now I'm going to move on to DTM Faith. Please share your experience. Why you joined? Is it from a dark place or a place of I can't do it? What do you want to tell me? And why have you stayed? And what's your experience so far?
Thank you very much, Ayotola. And good evening, Toastmasters and guests, or friends, and our friends joining us. Why did I join Toastmasters? That's an interesting question. Because I never even knew about Toastmasters in the first place. So I didn't know anything like that existed. But one day I was lying down on my bed and I was reading a book. And in that book, the author said, if you're a trainer, if you're an aspiring speaker, you should join Toastmasters. That Toastmasters will help you to, cultivate those skills that you need for your field. And I like, what is Toastmasters? So I went online and Googled it. And guess what? I like, it's an international organization. I was surprised, never heard of it. And I Googled for clubs in my area, and I saw one, and I called the number there. The number happens to be the number of the president, and it described their venue and everything. And I showed up for that meeting, not knowing what to expect. I'm like, what are they toasting? What is it? But when I walked into the meeting, one of the things I liked about the meeting was that it was a safe place. The members were so friendly and welcoming. And I'm like, wow, okay, I like here. I want to be here. And the meeting started. And I was like, wow, why haven't I heard of them? And that's how I signed up immediately. And it's 6 years this year. And I don't know if I'm going to give up soon. I don't know if I will stay for 17 years like DTM Rashidat, but I know that I like where I am right now. I like the community. I like the environment. And I like that everyone is supporting everyone to become. And that's something that is very rare in our society right now. So to have a community full of people who want what you want for yourself, and they are cheering you up to be, is a huge community. There's no reason why you just can't want to be in that community. So that's why I joined Toastmasters, and it's been an interesting journey. I've enjoyed it all the way. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Faith. Perspectives. Wow, thank you. I really didn't want to ask this question. I just thought everybody would say, "Oh, I wanted to develop my public speaking skills, and I joined." But yeah, this is really an eye opener to say yes. We definitely would come for different reasons, and something will keep us around. So now, DTM Chidi, I want to hear your story. Please share.
Hi, thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Yatola. How I found Toastmasters was actually a very funny experience for me. Well, certainly not for the trigger that introduced Toastmasters. So I found Toastmasters in a workplace. And it so happened that it was a management meeting. A senior manager was doing a presentation to the executive committee. And midway, my group MD, the late Herbert Wigwe, stopped him and asked him a question that sounded funny at the time. And he goes, have you heard of Toastmasters? We were taking a bath. The senior manager was surprised and he stammered like, no. And Herbert told him, if you want to save your career, you better go find out about Toastmasters and join them. After that meeting, my HR heads obviously made inquiries about Toastmasters, because those management meetings are meetings that you can go in with your career intact and come out with your career in pieces. So everyone goes to those meetings with their hearts in their hand. And after the meeting, my HR head made inquiries and invited some Toastmasters members. They came to the bank, Access Bank, and there was a demo meeting. It was later on that I realized what they did was a demo meeting. And these people were speaking. Even me that prided myself as a talker, I'm like, okay, all right. So this talking thing, it's grade by grade, level by level. But the thing that struck me out of the way they carried themselves and the way they spoke was the fact that another devil we said, the bank ended up putting together 30 women, 30 ladies in a room to discuss and decide on the way forward. These 30 ladies were to be charter members of the club. And for the first time in my existence, I realized that you could have more than 2 women in the same space discussing issues, and there was no scratching, no name calling, there was no backbiting. Everybody was civilized, composed. I'm like, is this real? I'm like, see, any organization that has the power to do this, I want to belong. So for me, it was more like, this is something transformational. It's something that you go in, even when you come in as a bulldog, you come out as calm as a cat. I just wanted to belong to that community. And so I joined as a charter member. We started, and it was interesting. It was interesting to me because it was a platform where I could be myself. I could be free. I could make mistakes and know that, look, nobody is going to criticize you. Nobody was going to judge you. And for me, it was a game changer. So it was where I practiced getting into, don't want to say argument, but pleading my case with my superiors, especially when we go for some strategy meetings. It was where I could fine-tune my presentation skills, because at that point, early on in my career, I was put in a position where I had to do presentations to senior management. And I didn't want to become like that senior manager who would be told to go join one club to save his career. Now, why did I stay? I found love in Toastmasters. Toastmasters is maybe the only extracurricular activity that I have at this point. And so I held on, and I held on passionately. And I am able to explore the volunteering, side of myself, being able to give myself freely, and knowing that I'm also growing and, developing as an individual. So yes, I perhaps would target to stay beyond 70 years like DTMRS, because you hear people who say 70, you're like, wow, that's such a lot. Like, hey, God, when me? But I will get there, but I'm planning to stay way beyond, because I know Toastmasters has got a lot to offer. Like an onion. As you peel, you just realize that there's a finer, cuter, more presentable layer inside, and you just want to keep peeling and peeling and peeling. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly, DTM Chidi. At least from this conversation, I've been able to pick that. It's either love or addiction. I hope I'm going to find out which one it is by the end of this session. Love or addiction that keeps us around. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next question. And this will go to DTM RSB. In your opinion, what would you say are the unique challenges that women face in their Toastmasters journey, and how can they overcome them?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. As far as I see, I believe that as a woman, you probably would want to believe that you have challenges, but somehow, for me personally, I really don't classify many things as challenges, because really, I'll tell you something. If it sounds like a challenge, it seems to me like some sport. And that is the way I had operated. Even when I was when I was in paid employment, I had well, some people will call it misfortune, but I had the opportunity of always being sent to trouble spots. And you see, when there's nothing to accomplish, it gets boring. For me personally. So rather than look at it as an issue or a challenge, I look at it as an opportunity to prove that I can. And that is what keeps me going on. So a typical woman, for instance, will have to take care of the children, will need to take care of, I mean, if you are married, you want to take care of your husband, you want to take care of the children, you want to take care of the home front, and of course, you want to be nice. Maybe, well, because it's an African setting, you probably have in-laws and neighbors and all of that. You want to be nice too. And yet, you have your projects that you want to accomplish. You have, Toastmasters can be quite demanding if you want to do it the way you have to do it. So how do you want to? That would be what some people will call challenge, but I refuse to look at it as a challenge, I think, because there's no way that you will go through all of that and you'll not be a better human being without sacrificing anything. And I mean it. Of course, I know one or two persons who told me that they had issues at home trying to keep up with Toastmasters, but I think it's a little bit about management. It just takes much more from you than you imagined before. If you are speaking, for instance, with your husband, is it not an opportunity to practice impromptu speaking? Honestly, you'll be surprised. And that is the truth. You have learned it. You have learned about the CRC method. When last did you employ that at home? You are speaking with your children. Imagine when you have a child growing. Suppose you have a millennial or a Gen Z as your child, and he can challenge, or he or she can challenge anything you are saying. So how are you going to put it up? So for me, it's like, oh, okay, now I have my 5 minutes presentation to make because he is asking me to prove why I should do that and why I should not do that. So is that not an opportunity? And then by the time I come to my next meeting, I don't have to start thinking about what to say because I already have, and you know what? The truth is that when it's your personal story, it's easier to deliver because you don't have to start trying to remember anything. You deliver it and you deliver it beautifully. So does it still sound like so much of a challenge? I'll say no. You are talking about leadership skills, for instance, and you're at work. So where is it? Where can you have a better opportunity to try out those leadership skills that we have been taught? It is at work. No matter what, even if you are self-employed, you have the opportunity. So it depends on how you look at it. Honestly, is your cup half full or is it empty? I choose to look at it as always half full. I look at it as an opportunity. I don't want to look at it as a challenge. I look at everything that comes my way as an opportunity. Yes, it's tough. I'm not going to say it's like picking apples or something like that. No, it could be tough, but you get better. Honestly, you get better after every episode that seems like a challenge if you choose to look at it as a learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DTM RSB. Thank you. All right, so my next question will go to DTM Faith. I would like to ask if you can share a specific experience or accomplishment in Toastmasters that has empowered you as a woman. Can you share a specific experience, something within the Toastmasters that you feel, yes, this is amazing. This is, so could you?
Okay, thank you, Hayo, once more. I think what I would say has been a huge benefit to me as a person in Toastmaster would be the feedback session, the evaluations. Having to sit in meetings after meetings, taking feedback from your peers is something that is huge because in our society, feedback is usually viewed as criticism, and we all don't like to be criticized. But to sit meetings after meetings, week after meetings, getting feedback from people and being able to take it without feeling bad and reacting is one of the huge benefits that I've taken out of Toastmasters. And I will tell you how it has helped me in my career. I lead a team at work. And one day I came out from my office. It was during break, and I think I forgot something in the car. I wanted to go pick it. So the hallway, I met one of my team member speaking with a man, but from a distance, I could see that it wasn't such a pleasant conversation. So when I got back, I greeted and I said, "Is there a challenge?" And the man said, "Men are talking, and you a woman, just put your mouth." Whoa. I just said, "Oh, sorry," and I left. But as I was walking away, I heard my colleague telling him that that's my boss you just spoke to. And I just walked to the car, picked what I wanted to pick. I was smiling as I came back and I walked back to the office. Before Toastmaster, I would really feel bad that I was spoken to that way. But because I've learned how to take feedback, it was just one of those feedback you get. And I just took it like, well, maybe he felt that, that's his mindset. And I just took it like that and I walked away. I went back to the office. Some minutes later, they both came to my office and the man came and said, "Madam, I am sorry, don't be angry." Apparently what he wanted, my subordinate couldn't even give, could not resolve. That level of conflict resolution in terms of what he wanted had to come to my desk. So of course they had to bring him, and he came and he was like, "Don't be angry, I didn't know you were the oga and whatever." I'm like, "Okay, no problem. What do you want?" I resolved it for him. And I took that time to talk to him after I'd resolved him. And I told him, I said, "Oga, I see that you think women can't do many things, but the world has changed. Women can do most of the things that men can do these days. And you have to recognize it and accept this is not your house or your village where women are talking, women cannot talk. This is an office and everything." He said, "Wow, madam, thank you very much. You have really changed me. Now I now know how to behave when I go outside and everything." And he left my office happy. And I was also happy. And I was looking back after that incident and saying, if I hadn't joined Toastmasters and I have not learned what feedback is and how to give and how to receive it, how would I have been able to handle that situation the way that I did? So I bring the skills from Toastmasters to my personal life and to my work life, and they've, they've enhanced my outputs in terms of productivity, in terms of likability, in terms of the community I'm able to keep, in terms of my team that I'm able to lead. And they can come in and say, "Madam, I know say you are madam, but I have to tell you this. You always say we can give feedback, right?" And so we get to work better, understand each other better. So feedback evaluation is one of the skills I have been able to take out of Toastmasters, and it has been a huge benefit to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faith. That was quite an experience. I really did not want to be that man because I'll just go and sleep because come back. I'm sorry, I'm going back home. I've messed up. I start over tomorrow. That's such an experience. And like you said, it's not just learning evaluations from your peers. It's having people who are, at some point, people who are way younger than you, less experienced, will give you feedback. And you just learn to take it, take out the ones that are relevant, and you just say thank you with a smile. Right. All right. Okay. So, DTM Elizabeth, where are you hiding? I have a question for you. Okay. All right. Since you're going somewhere. So, the next question is okay, what advice would you have for women who are hesitant to join Toastmasters or take on leadership roles within Toastmasters? Maybe due to their challenges, work pressure, and all of that. What advice would you give them? How would you make them see why they should take up these leadership roles that could be quite time consuming?
I like to encourage them. Women are built in such a way that we are able to multitask. And yes, there are challenges in joining Toastmasters. But I believe that if you build a support system around you, it will go a long way in helping you surmount some of these challenges. I'm an example. From my introduction, you can see that I'm a serial entrepreneur. I delve into so many things. And usually with that, you ask yourself, would you have time to do all things Toastmasters? I tried to build a support system around me. My husband, my mother, to help me look after my kids, because my husband, yes, he will support me in everything that I want to do, but you have kids. And like I said, I joined Toastmasters in a postnatal depression sort of, and I had a fresh baby. Who would look after that fresh baby for me to do my Toastmasters? My husband, my mother. Sometimes I would just leave the baby with them and then go for a meeting on a Saturday. And by the time I leave that meeting for home, they would attest to the fact that, oh, I have been refreshed. Therefore, having a support system around you goes a long way in helping you achieve your aims. Also, you need to tell yourself that I have to do this. I need to build myself. A training is a lifelong thing that we all need to do. You need to train yourself day in, day out. You need to acquire knowledge. And as a woman, if you are able to acquire knowledge, if you're able to train yourself, no one will just look at you and tell you that, oh, you are just a woman. No. Anyone who sees you will know that you are a woman of value. Leadership is difficult, but I would like to encourage, I'm not advising anyone, because we all have our own issues, our own problems, our own challenges. The only thing I can do is to advise fellow women. If you want to join Toastmasters, if you want to build on your communication and leadership skills, don't look at the challenges as just mere challenges. Look at them as something that would build you up. Look at something that is surmountable. Have people around you who would help you. We are entering into a new leadership era. Many people may not want to take that position, but I would advise, take it up. You can do it. 1 year is just around the corner. You can do it. And the kind of things you learn from this leadership journey, you would call me later and thank me. It builds you up and makes you confident. It brings you out. I was an introvert, but through Toastmasters, I can now go out, dance, speak my mind out, do anything that I want to do. This was achieved through learning how to lead people, learning how to communicate with people. I learned emotional intelligence in Toastmasters. Previously, if we had a confrontation and I felt that I was in the right, but you just want to take me for granted, I would never, ever speak with you again. But after learning emotional intelligence from Toastmasters, I realized that what at all are we looking for in life? How are we able to manage others' emotions according to our emotions? Therefore, if you do anything to me, or if we have a quarrel, I'll go away, come back, and still call you and say, good morning, my sister. Good morning, my dear. Because I don't know what was happening to you at that point in time when we had the quarrel. Toastmasters has done this for me. It is possible. We can surmount our challenges and we can do all things. We can lead, we can communicate. Let's all try as much as possible to do this as women, because as women, we can multitask and it is possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DTM Elizabeth. Wow, maybe we should just, Toastmaster AJ, we should just cut off that part for like an ad for women to join Toastmasters. That's superb. Well done. Thank you. Okay, so riding on that, I know she talked about how you learn emotional intelligence, how you need to keep touching into yourself as you give off to others. So that's why you need to build yourself and personal development. So now, DTM Chidi, I have a question for you. So can you tell us, is there a way that Toastmasters actually empower women, females, to be able to balance their personal commitments? Because I know how you operate. I see you everywhere. You have a busy career, you have a family to look out for, and then you are still very much involved everywhere. So how does Toastmasters empower women to be able to balance this? Because we understand the society that we live in. Is there a way that Toastmasters helps us to do this?
All right, thank you very kindly for that question, Toastmaster Ayatola. How does Toastmasters help women to balance Toastmasters with their personal commitments? The truth of the matter is, everything about Toastmasters is about flexibility and adaptability, right? And I know we're focusing on women. The fact that Toastmasters is flexible is something that benefits the men as well as the women. Well, for the women, I know distinguished Toastmaster Elizabeth has spoken about having a support system around you and leveraging on that support system to be able to do the things you need to do in Toastmasters. But there's also that fact that you have mentors. There's also that fact that you have a supportive community even within Toastmasters. Now, if I look about at the flexible side, Toastmasters operates on club levels. So clubs have different activities, different meetings happening at different times. There's no rule that says if you are a member of AWA Toastmasters, for example, Chidi, you must only attend AWA Toastmasters meetings. The flexibility is you can attend any Toastmasters meeting anywhere. So if I'm not able to meet up my local Toastmasters meeting time, I can meet up the meeting time of Toastmasters in Cote d'Ivoire. I can meet up with Toastmasters in Abuja. I can meet up with Toastmasters in Hong Kong, and I attend. It's the same learning. It's the same skills you're going to build, and it's the same community of supportive people. Something else that I think that I know that has worked for me is the fact that, when you go through the Toastmasters Pathways project, so those who also did like the traditional part, you definitely learn things about time management. You learn things about managing projects, and I go about my life as though it's a project. So every day for me is a project, because the fact that it has the start and end time. So I just bucket the things that I need to do and still create time for Toastmasters. So if I tell myself, Chidi, you do Toastmasters activities for 1 hour every day, for 2 hours every day, I then bucket every other thing that I need to do and create that time. So treating every day as a project helps me manage myself better and manage time. Now, speaking about the mental part, as a Toastmaster, the truth is you're not tied to one mentor. So you can have 10 million mentors and nobody's going to crucify it for you. So as a woman, what you can do is, in addition to whatever mentor you've been assigned when you join a club, identify other women who you think are in the same category as you. Category as, if you are a married woman, you have kids, identify another married woman who has kids, who you have seen to be doing well, and try to understand what the things she's doing. So what are you doing? How are you able to manage yourself, manage your family, manage all these, tiny pieces of your life and make it work? If you're a career woman and you have a family, identify a career woman. If you're a business person, identify a business woman. So you see that you then have mentors who have gone through the phase that you are now. They've been able to make it work, and you can learn from them to also make it work. Something else you can do as a woman that Toastmasters has sort of shattered that stereotype is the fact that, sometimes in the secular world, you see that it's difficult for women to step into certain roles because of some ceiling that has been created for women. And if you go into organizations and you see a woman lead there, there's no gainsaying. That woman has worked maybe 4 times harder than her male counterparts. But in Toastmasters, it's like that ceiling has been shattered. So you can step into whatever role that you want to step in. Nobody's going to say, oh, it's because you're a woman, you can't do this. Or because you're a woman, you can't do that. It's non-existence in Toastmasters. So if you're able to use Toastmasters as a training ground to build yourself as a leader, so that when you step into the wards, just like the Faith has been able to not just manage herself, but manage a customer who had overlooked her or discarded her because she's a woman, you're not able to put people in their place, but do it in a nice way, without rubbing them off in the wrong way. That way, you're breaking those ceilings. You're not taking prisoners, but you're putting yourself forth to say, look, I know myself and I know I'm capable. But if you don't take that opportunity to practice and build yourself within Toastmasters, then it will be difficult for you to actually own it when you are in the secular or in the professional world. So the flexibility and the adaptability, the fact that you have mentors and a supportive community, and the fact that there's no glass ceiling holding you or shielding you from understanding and just spreading your wings of light. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Chidi. The flexibility, the support. Yes, all that I have experienced and I agree. Fellow Toastmasters, right now I'm going to apologize because it looks like we're going to overshoot time. We're women. We like to take our time to achieve excellence. So please calm down. You're getting gems. So relax. I just have a few more questions. We'll be overshooting by a bit. It's International Women's Year. Don't let them deceive you that it's Women's Day. It's Women's Year. It's always our time. But we're just going to take sweet time just so that we can get into these stories and hopefully it would encourage someone. Let them see better ways to do something. Like I caught something you said right there, DTM Chidi, where you talked about sometimes you just need to identify people that are like you so that they give you're able to say, how are you doing this? Let me align with you. And it just makes sense. All right. So I want to ask DTM RSB. My next question. DTM RSB. Okay. So I'm looking for, there's something I want to get, and that's why I want to ask you this particular question, but it seems to have escaped my screen. Okay. Can you share, if there is any, story of kickbacks that you may have received from family or friends because of your commitment to Toastmasters? Like people will just see you and say, Toastmasters again. Don't you have any other thing? Can you share a story? We can't, your mic is still muted.
Thank you so much, moderator. I really don't know what not to share because asking me is something that I get asked every time. Truth is, really I say I am in a meeting. The next thing you hear is Toastmasters. And some people ask, are you paid? Is it like you are paid for this? Why is it that you are always in a Toastmasters event? And I try to explain to them that I'm not even a committed Toastmaster. It's just that because I've been around, I have to really go to so many places, and that is why it would appear as if every day there's something Toastmastery about about my life. So every day there's something about Toastmasters going on. And perhaps you shouldn't really be wondering whether they tell me about it or they ask me why or why. Honestly, the truth is I get asked all the time. If you called up any of my children now and say, your mom is going for something or is in a program, the first thing they'll ask you is it a Toastmasters program? She will likely be there. Because just like Toastmaster Chidi said, it's almost as if I'm not doing any other thing apart from Toastmasters. And yet, I believe, honestly, that's why I said I'll retire into Toastmasters, because I believe that I'm not doing enough. Honestly, I believe that I am not doing enough because there's so much. There's really so much to do that I don't see how one can exhaust all of this in a lifetime. You can't possibly imagine that. And I'll tell you one story about myself. And people who were with us in Eagle Toastmasters then, they made fun of me as stuck online. You needed to do the 10 speeches to become a competent Toastmaster, isn't it? And then I got to speech number 9, and I said I wasn't going to go further. There's no way I'll see myself as a competent Toastmaster. So I better repeat the speech so many times until I can convince myself that I'm competent. But you see, I'm my own worst critic. There's nothing I do that I believe is good enough. So it got to a stage that people had to tell me, come on, they're embarrassing us. Why don't you just move ahead? You're not going to do speech number 9 10 times. And I saw that same thing playing out when I was going to do my gather my resources for Distinguished Toastmaster. The club members just told me that you come all the time, you make presentations, you don't record them, you do projects, you don't record them, you're a mentor, you don't record them, you do all of these things, you don't record them. But now we have recorded all of these things for you, and we need you to please start recording them officially so that we know that. But I keep telling them, I am not yet there. I'm not yet there. So what I'm trying to say in essence is people would know that I will always come back. The reason why you always want to say, well, Toastmasters again, is because I think that I have not really got enough from Toastmasters. I've got quite a lot, but it's not enough. And that is why they will always say, Toastmasters again, Toastmasters again. And I'm not sure, I don't feel bad about it. As a matter of fact, I enjoy it. As a matter of fact, the truth is that I enjoy it. When you tell me, yes, okay, so I'm predictable, good. I even had a guest, you'll be surprised I had a guest. I said, but since way back as when I was a kid, because the guy is married now and has 2 children. I said, when I was a kid, you were still doing this thing. Is it that you have not finished it? He said, well, it's not something you finish. It's not something you finish. So really, I wish you'd reframe your question because I can't answer it. I'm here and I'm here for good.
Awesome. You have answered it. I feel personally that I'm asking a personal question because just like the TMTD said, it feels like I don't have any other activity. But having you after 17 years say they still say the same, I feel relieved. So anytime someone says that to me, I'll just point them your way. Thank you. I'm doing just fine. All right. Okay. ETM RSB does not really have these shady stories. I'm going to move on to other panelists. And this question is very specific. It's a fun addition to this discussion. So let's talk about what your spouses feel about your involvement, because you people are really involved. it is serious task what you do. So let's talk, what are their thoughts? What do they think about Toastmasters? Are we not going to eat in this house tonight? Yeah, on a meeting. So we're going to start with this Faith. Please, we want to hear from you. Is your screen frozen? DTM Faith? Okay, we're going to, while she sorts that out, DTM Elizabeth. Thoughts? Let's hear their insights. Put them on the call through your voice.
I would say I'm privileged to have a partner who understands that when I decide to do something, no matter what he says, I will go ahead and do it. And since he started understanding that part of me, he has come to support anything that I set my mind on doing. When I started Toastmasters, he thought it was just going to be one of the things that I sleep and dream about. And then after a few weeks, days, I would just stop doing it. But when he realized that it was a real thing and I was geared towards making it part of me, he supported me wholeheartedly. Yeah, sometimes he will ask, why everyday Toastmasters? Toastmasters this, Toastmasters that. He calls me. I say, oh, I'm on the call. What are you doing? I'm having a meeting. I say, okay, Toastmasters. All right, bye-bye. It gets to a point where I know that it gets to him. But like I said, if you know the kind of person you are with, you need to just let them understand that you are in this for good. And this thing is helping you develop yourself in so many ways. With that admission, I'm sure that anyone you are with would understand you whenever you say Toastmasters this, Toastmasters that. Thank you.
Over to you, DTM Chidi. Give us the scoops.
Thank you, Sister Ayatola. I laughed when I heard this question, and I laughed because I remember in the early days when I first joined Toastmasters, I think within the first year, I took my husband to attend the Toastmasters meeting with me. I think it was Eagle Toastmasters. And after that first meeting, he was asked to do table topics. It wasn't a fun experience for him. Yeah, it was fun for me because it was like, yeah, get to experience it. So sometimes during the pandemic, when we segued into virtual meetings, it was like meeting after meeting. And sometimes I'm like, wait, I want to understand something. Is it that all these people that you always do meeting, don't they have work? Don't they have work that they're doing? That they're always in the meeting. And so I asked him, like, don't I have work? Yeah, you have work now, but how else do you explain that? I mean, you guys are always in the meeting. Like, different clubs. So it's not the same people. So the question you should be asking yourself was like, are you sure my wife has a job? Yeah. Because if I have to be in those meetings with different people, then it probably means I'm the one who doesn't have a work, who doesn't have a job, right? But that was a very funny question because it just shows that, look, you're always, involved in a Toastmasters meeting or in a Toastmasters activity. And just like the Temba has been now, if you hear that she's in a meeting, he always, whether he knows it's a Toastmasters meeting or he doesn't know, he just tell the person, yeah, she's in Toastmasters. It's a Toastmasters meeting. Even when his friends meetings are like, guys, whatever, no, yes, she's in a Toastmasters meeting. When she's done, she'll come and say hello. And then they come out like, yeah, cool, you're beginning to get the message. So you just know it's a Toastmasters meeting. And it's fun and it's interesting. Sometimes, well, maybe like in a family meeting and things that people are saying, airing their view. And I asked to share some thoughts, and I finished, and everybody would go like, and I hear my husband, yes, she's a Toastmaster. I'm like, okay. So somebody is beginning to use me to be priding himself, like, oh yeah, she's in Toastmaster. I'm like, okay, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So now I have to comport myself when I'm out because anything I say or do, like Toastmaster, so I just have to make sure that whatever I say or do, wherever it is, in my house, outside my house, that yes, it's something that when you hear she say Toastmaster, you definitely know that okay, yes, those are Toastmasters. So I cannot be a bad brand ambassador of Toastmaster. It's fun, it's interesting, and it's just good that when people think about you, you know, they think Toastmasters. In my this one I was in Access Bank, when my HR head would tell her PA, go and call me, Toastmaster. They just come, hey, Chidi, Bolaji wants to see you. Like, she said Toastmaster. Did she call my name? She said, no, she said, just go and get me someone for Toastmasters, and they go and they call Chidi. So it's just very, very interesting. And the thing is, it just distinguishes you from others. Because even in the workplace, and they're creating teams, and it has to do with maybe presentation, or you have to brainstorm, and I'm in a team. People will always find like, hey, why do you have to put her in that team? Like, why? You go and put Toastmasters in. Of course, they will win now. What else did you? How else can you explain it? So it's actually interesting, and it's a good thing that when you allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to make mistakes, not be scared of making mistakes, because I think that's the main thing for people. You're scared of making mistakes because you don't know what people would say or how people would perceive it. I would rather make mistakes within Toastmasters, get feedback for it, and be better, so that when I'm out, I would not repeat those mistakes. But if I am scared of making mistakes within Toastmasters, chances that I would go out there and make those mistakes. I probably will not have anyone to give me that feedback. Rather, the response to it would be maybe damaging to maybe your career or your relationship or something. So it's Toastmasters is just it's an interesting experience.
Okay. Wow. Wow. It's a mouthful. Yes, I know. It's exciting. I think it's that high you get from an addiction. I'm just going to keep saying it's an addiction now because I see that everyone is so excited about it. But that's really good. There are good addictions and there are bad ones. So this seems like one of those good ones. Toastmaster Faith, you almost escaped that question, but thank goodness you're back. Please give us your thoughts on your involvement with Toastmasters.
Okay, so thank you very much. How have I evolved? Yes, I have evolved from being that that woman that could not speak for 3 minutes to someone that can give speeches, that now gives speeches, is a TEDx speaker, and do professional trainings. When I first joined Toastmasters, I will pick up my projects, and the fear of delivering that project, I know what to say. And I come in front of the audience, stand behind the lectern, and after speaking for 1, 2, 3 minutes, that seems like forever, I'm lost and I have to go back to my seat. But now I go into a meeting and I know I have to speak, sometimes unprepared, and you just stand there and you see yourself speaking for 20, 30 minutes and you're not running out of words, you're not running out of ideas. You're able to string them logically. You're able to pass your message, in a way that people can understand. And I'm looking at myself and say, whoa, girl, you've grown, you know? So Toastmaster is the place that allows you to evolve, to become anything you want to be if you give yourself a chance. So I tell people, give yourself a chance. You deserve it. So give it to yourself. And if you allow yourself, stand there, take the feedback. You're not good. Yes, that's why you're there. And with time, you become better. From better, you keep becoming even better. So I've evolved as a Toastmaster and seeing myself now. I looked at myself a few days ago and said, Faith, you're serving as division director. From where and how? How did you even get here? I just can't, phantom how have evolved and grown to this stage. And if someone had told me 2, 3 years down the line that you would do this job, I would like, no, please don't call my name for it. And I sat with my team yesterday and I said, it has been an enjoyable journey. Leading the team has been something that has been enjoyable. It's been stress-free. Yes, there have been challenges, but challenges that we've been able to surmount together. and no pressure, no stress, nobody is, having migraines from it. And I couldn't have believed I would be able to do it. And now being able to sit in this role has also helped me to sit up even higher at work. And I see myself going into boardrooms, and when I speak, people come out and say, wow, your points were so salient. They came out punchy on time. And I like, you don't know what Toastmaster is doing to me. That's my secret sauce. And we just had a chief executive, a new one, a new CEO walk into the room. And we had management meetings 2 days ago. And while I was called upon to give my presentations, and I was done speaking, and I got a standing ovation. And after the meetings, other, top management staff will come and say your contributions were apt and really nice. Great addition. We're happy you came for this meeting. And I go back and say, thank you, Toastmasters. So I think I've grown. I will encourage everyone to take their journey a little bit more seriously. It's your life, it's your growth. And every time you show up, you're showing up for yourself, you're growing, you're becoming that person. So just give yourself that chance to learn. And like DTM, they are the fertilizers that allows us to grow, because if you don't make a mistake, you won't even know what you can or what you can't do. So don't beat yourself. You said something and you're like, that's a grammatical error. Take the lessons, improve and become better. It's not something to kill yourself. You're not perfect and you're not made to be. You can make mistakes and you're allowed to. So lean on it, take it as fertilizers and grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Take it as fertilizers and grow. Let it make you bubble. That is good tip. Do not beat yourself over any mistake. Just keep going on and on. As we wrap up, I will just ask this question. Just 1 minute each on the time. Very, very short, shorter than a table topic session. I would like to hear your thoughts, everyone. Looking ahead, what initiatives would you like to see in Toastmasters to further support women's growth and participation? DTM RSB, please start us off in 1 minute.
Thank you. What further support for women specifically? Women are really not as weak as many people want to believe. It's really because many people tend to think, oh, yeah, they are the weaker sex and they need. As a matter of fact, I should be asking, what would you like women to do more better? Toastmasters. You see, because like DTM Elizabeth said, we can multitask. Ask a man to multitask and you see what will happen. So a woman can confidently multitask. So if we can multitask, then what stops us from having informal meetings? Something I really would want to see women do more in Toastmasters informal meetings, devoid of any of those razzmatazz that we usually do, where people can just simply pour out their minds and say it as it is without any inhibition. And I also want people to be able to put on the garb of that incessant confidence. Because I'm telling you, a woman finds it easier to be confident than a man. When you have a skill, the same skill as a man, you'll be surprised at how easily you can launch yourself. So if we have more informal meetings, and they are for women, of course, men can join in, just like we're having a panel discussion and there are so many men around, so that they also can be wired enough to understand what goes on in a woman's mind. Informal meetings, honestly, I would really, really love to see that. And being spearheaded by women particularly, where they can always say, yes, do your thing, and you know you can do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, DTM RSB, a formal meeting where women can truly be themselves and grow. Okay, DTM Faith, since I'm looking at you, please give us your thoughts in 1 minute.
Okay, so thank you. I don't know if 1 minute will be enough, but I want to say something. You know, we as women, we tell ourselves that women are good at multitasking. And we have come to believe that to be true, but scientifically, it is not. Behavioral science has come to show that there's not much difference between men and women when it comes to multitasking. And we tend to pride ourselves that we're better at it because we do a lot that that are so visible. We take care of the children, we take care of the home, we have a career to run, but the men also have careers to run. They have wives they cater for, they have children they are responsible for. So it's a stereotype when you say women are better at multitasking. Rather, women, and because of this stereotype, we tend to take more into our plates as women, telling ourselves that we can multitask because of this stereotype. And we keep taking more, and we don't know how to set boundaries and limits. And I see it in Toastmasters. Women come in with that same stereotype, that same mindset. We are good at multitasking, and they are in every club meeting, they are in every activity. And I've had some members women in some clubs whose husband have said, don't go to Toastmasters again. Did you stop? And this could have been avoided if we understand that the notion of we can multitask can lead you to over volunteer. There is what is called over volunteering. If you over volunteer, you will stretch yourself and it will begin to affect other aspects of your life. So what will I tell women in Toastmasters? Please don't over volunteer. Know your threshold, know your limit, know what is important to you. Yes, you want to build your leadership and communication skills, do it within your limit. Don't overstretch, don't over volunteer. Don't go and be in 10 meetings in 2 days, 30 meetings in 3 days, and 50 meetings in 1 week, and not have time for every other thing. Then your husband will say, stop going there, because he's not seeing his wife becoming better. He's seeing the home becoming a crisis place. So volunteer, but do it with a lot of wisdom, do it with a lot of sense. You hold your club, your responsibility to be at meeting. That's the Toastmasters promise. After your club meetings, pick wisely. Pick the meetings wisely. Show up wisely and understand that you want to grow in all areas of your life and not grow in one and frustrate the others. And I can see a man crying. Men can do, women can do. Yes. We are saying have a balance. That's all I'm saying. As a woman, strike a balance. Don't over volunteer. Anywhere, not just in Toastmasters. If you over volunteer, you're going to overstretch yourself and you're going to get into a place where you feel like the world is chasing you and everything is running after you. So that's what I would say. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Faith. Do not over volunteer. I wrote that in caps so that anytime anybody comes for 30 role playing in 2 days, I'm saying, look at what DTM Faith said. I'm not joking. But DTM Chidi is not having any of it because she's in 60 meetings in 2 days. But before I come to her, let me go to
She's
DTM.
a superwoman.
DTM Elizabeth, what would you like to see for women in Toastmasters as we move on?
Okay. This young Faith said, don't over volunteer. I believe that it has to do with the reason why you are in Toastmasters. All right. You may find one person all over the place, being in 30 meetings, 20 meetings, etc. The question you need to ask yourself is, why is this person in every meeting? Maybe that is like an outlet for that person, for that person to feel all the things that they need to feel to be okay. So I don't think that people just attend meetings just for meeting's sake. There is a reason behind every meeting that you find someone there, or every role that a woman plays. Yes, if we say women can multitask, some may say we are stereotyping, but no, even in the Bible, God gave women so many things to do than men. Because for a woman, you need to give birth, you need to go through this monthly cycle, etc. A man only had to just work and cater for the family. But as a woman, you have so many things that you need to do to get yourself out there, to get yourself seen. That is the reason why we multitask as we do. Therefore, I am encouraging every woman on this call, in the world, every Toastmaster, anyone, do it afraid. Do it because you know that it is going to help you develop yourself and help you maintain a stable mental, fitness. Toastmasters helps all of us in different ways or the other. But the most important thing, ask yourself, what does it do for me? If I multitask, if I lead, if I communicate, if I'm in all these meetings, would it be okay for me? And if you answer yes, then yes, be in all those meetings and lead to the best of your ability. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Elizabeth. Women who multitask just put some of us that want the soft life in trouble. It's soft life. I just want soft life. I don't want to multitask. All right, DTM Judy, we're going to wrap this up with you. Could you please, in 1 minute, share what initiatives or changes you would like to see Toastmasters do to further support women's growth and participation?
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Ayatollah. I probably would just re-echo what all my other panelists have said. But there's something this RSB said that struck me about having like informal meetings where women can allow themselves to be vulnerable and say it as it is. I think that is something that I would love to see in Toastmasters. Now, this is outside of a regular Toastmasters meeting. It's like just bringing women together and allowing them to unwind, allowing them to exhale, allowing them to be themselves with their fellow women, people who, when they bear their minds, will understand where they are coming from and not necessarily judge them. When you're talking to a man, men, chances are that they have certain perceptions in their heart. They want to listen to you, but they're probably not wired to understand what it is that you go through. But a woman who's gone through that will be more, open to listening to you. The person has felt it. Is it childbirth? Is it going through your menstrual cycle? Is it, juggling work and life? Is it going through that, maybe just postpartum depression? These are kind of conversations that you can't have with men. But you can have them with women, and you allow yourself to be vulnerable. So that is something I definitely want to see in Toastmasters. And what happens to having a session where women can relax and have the men celebrate them? A meeting all about women. Men become the role players, but the theme of the meeting could be celebrate the woman in your life. Ooh. Everything that will be discussed in that meeting is about letting the woman in your life understand how you appreciate her. Make her understand that you see the things that she does for you and the family. You see the pain she goes through. Don't just let the women know that they are appreciated. Let them know that you see them. Let them know that you're there for them, right? We could have meetings where women could come with their spouses. Let your spouse come and see the things that you do in Toastmasters, what Toastmasters mean to you. Because the truth is, yeah, we have certain women who enjoy the support of their spouses, but not all Toastmasters women have that benefit. I could be in Toastmasters meetings because I have a spouse who's understanding, who can watch my kids when, I'm not there, and I am not worried. But not everybody would be able to enjoy that privilege. So how about, just I mean, bring your spouse day. Like you have your bring your kid to work day. How about bring your spouse to Toastmasters meeting day? Let this husband see what benefit Toastmaster, affords their wives. Perhaps they're not seeing it in the inside because you're still building yourself. Because the truth is, you're a going concern. You don't join Toastmasters and in 1 week you expect that you're going to become that super communicator, or you suddenly become, the very intuitive person. It takes time. I've been in Toastmasters over 6 years, and I know that I still don't get it right. Even with my husband, there are sometimes that we have certain arguments, and I'm telling myself in my head, Chidi, you need to receive feedback and you need to be able to listen actively. But like the spirit is willing, but the flesh is really, you just want to lay out there. So we're all going concerns, and we should be able to be in an atmosphere where we appreciate the fact that we're going concerns as women. And just like the term Elizabeth said, know your why. If you ask yourself certain questions, and you're able to tick the boxes, then by all means, open yourself to them. But also at the same time, know when to say no. Know when to put your foot down and say no. In as much as I want to, I'm afraid I will not be able to be available for XYZ. And allow yourself that time to refresh, to breathe, to rejuvenate. And then when you come back strong. But I mean, we're super women, right? Then let's just continue to be better versions of ourselves as much as we can. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very kindly. I hope that the men on the call have taken notes, and I look forward to seeing all of these meetings where we are just purely celebrating women and allowing them to have an enriching space. Thank you kindly to all our panelists. Now the floor will be open for questions. If you have any questions, please raise your hand with the prompt or just drop them in the chat box and I will read them out loud. If you have any questions or comments, whatever it is you've taken off of this session, please feel free to raise your hands and drop that. Thank you. Thank you so much to all our panelists. Wow, it's been amazing listening to these stories. And I feel like this is a subsect of that meeting the TMRSB is talking about, where we can just share, get tips. No, this has to happen. This is something this is the one that I'm not over volunteering for. It's going to happen this way. All right. Any questions? I am waiting. No one has your hands raised. Okay, so it seems like it was enjoyed too much. They are, when women talk, men are they're just tired. They don't know what to do anymore. They are tongue-tied. Okay, DTM Molu Joseph, you have a question. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm tempted to ask the question, what do women really want?
Is that a question for us, or you're still tempted to ask it and you have not asked yet?
So, but I will leave that temptation out. But let me first of all say, I celebrate all the women on this call, all the DTMs, all the Toastmasters, all the female. Like I used to say, the future is female. I don't know how I can prove that, but somehow the way since 1995, somebody correct me, after the Beijing conference, we have seen an upsurge of women involvement. And of course, we also know that I think it was 1973 when women were allowed to be part of Toastmasters. And one of the speeches I delivered sometimes back in the traditional educational program, I was surprised that the statistics has changed, that we have more women in Toastmasters now than some years ago. So I just hope that men will not fizzle out and women will have 90%. Maybe we'll still be doing 60-40. So I support everything you have done this evening. I just want to commend everybody. And only small suggestion is, which will go in line with the Faith's suggestion, just let's find a way to moderate our excessiveness. If there's anything like that, how can you moderate excessiveness? Okay, so because some husbands we get pissed off at times. Fortunately for me, it's not the same thing in my house. I'm a DTM, my wife is a Toastmaster, my daughter is Toastmaster. We are Toastmastering here, evaluation and everything every day. You can't even talk anyhow now. They will give you CRC immediately. You know, so I just want to say kudos to everybody. Let's keep firing and enjoy yourselves. God bless.
Thank you, DTM Olu Joseph. Thank you very kindly. Any questions, any other questions or comments? Okay. Anybody? There's a comment. It's been an insightful session. I'm revived and energized. That's Toastmaster Kadia Tubari. Thank you. I'm also very energized. At least now I know that I'm not alone. So this is really enriching. All right. So if we do not have any further questions, we would bring this panel discussion to a close. And I want to say a huge thanks to all our panelists, DTM RSP, DTM Elizabeth, DTM Chidi, and DTM Faith. Your stories are it's a lot, but it actually gives me relief. I mean, we're hearing stories from 17 years ago, 8 years ago, people who have joined 8 years ago and 6 years ago. So it really just gives you the strength to say, yeah, you can do this. You can do whatever it is that you put your heart to. And one thing that I really take away, because you see how life is, like on social media, they'll tell you, do not eat wheat bread if you want to lose weight. And someone else tell you, if you want to lose weight, eat wheat bread. So really, I believe that it's really about taking up all of this and look at what works for you. And that's what I've taken. Take up all of this. Remember your why, know why you're there, and you can keep going. If what you want to do is just keep practicing volunteering or keep practicing speaking, then you always have to show up when someone calls you up to speak, because you want to get better at it. And at some point, you just know that you don't have the bandwidth for it. You can just say no, and no is enough. There's no reason I'm not available for it. Just use that. And yes, I am really glad that I'm here to learn all of this today, as I'm sure that a lot of other people have learned on this call. So without further ado, even though I would have loved to keep us here tonight, yes, it's Mr. Shatta. She said the session was enthralling. Let's keep soaring. That is really beautiful. Thank you. I would like now to hand over to the coordinator, Toastmaster Ajwa, as we move on to the toast session of this Afterwork session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my
Thank
friend.
you very much.
Thank you.
Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ayatola. I'd say that's the first time in my life I am speechless. I don't have anything to say. I do not have anything to take away or to add. It has just been a Toastmasters meeting, and it has delivered short of nothing. Our moderator has been interesting, exciting, very well animated, has asked very, very thought-provoking questions. Our panelists were they served as the source. If in millennial parlance, they served as the source. And we thank you for joining us, DTM Chidi, DTM Faith, DTM Rashidat, and DTM Elizabeth. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now call, yes, the moderator is Beauty and Brains, and that is why I specifically chose her to moderate this program, because I knew that this was going to be star-studded, and I could not have anyone who would derail our plans. And so, Toastmaster Ayatola, thank you so much ever for your kindness and showing up and delivering. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll now call on our toast proposer, Celestina, to bring this interesting session to a close. Thank you. Hello, it's our toast proposer on call, Celestina. Hello, Celestina. Okay, can we please turn on our cameras and grab our glasses? I think I'll just do this. Excuse me, I'll just do this for her. Can we please turn on our cameras, grab our glasses? Women are amazing people, and when women come together, amazing things happen. When I was opening my meeting, I said that Margaret Thatcher once said that when you want something said, give it to a man. And if you want it done, give it to a woman. Somebody submitted that Toastmasters has seen that there are a lot of women more now than men. It's because we get things done. Women actually show up. We are reliable. We are committed. We get things done. And that's why we are here. And so this evening, let us drink a toast to women all over the world, to Toastmasters, to non-Toastmasters, to every woman in whichever sector, whatever they are doing, whichever way they are making change. Let us drink to women all over the world. Thank you very much. Thank you. I can't say thank you, DTM Lizzie. Hello, it's good to see you. It's been a minute. It's good to see you. Thank you to my moderator. And unfortunately, we're supposed to give an update on the conference, but our speaker is in transit somewhere. So the person who would give us the update is in transit. So we promise to deliver next week. So thank you all and see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.